I'm talking to Shelley Hagen, very lovely lady.
Oh gosh, I don't know, Yerrick. How many have we done? Lots.
A
Lots and
lot,
lots and lots.
a lot.
We've
And
known each other for a
today,
long time, over 10 years.
over 10 years. Anybody who is participating in this presentation, we've been knowing each other for 15-ish, 14 years. And Shelley, she is a second member after myself. And first person which ever knew that I started the Canada Real Estate Investors Club. And that's what we are running on a regular basis, right, Shelley?
Yes, yes,
I I am very proud to brag about that on a regular basis every time when we meet together, right?
yes.
So today our goal is to introduce Shelley in different light, completely different than standard presentation. What I have in mind is this is more like personal introduction, what exactly Shelley has been doing, how she has achieved whatever she has achieved, and anything, whatever is just introduction to her personal point of view about real estate investing. And I hope that's okay with you, Shelley.
Yes, sure, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
so what have you made you decide to start real estate investing?
A very good question.
Hmm.
I used to live in Saskatchewan, in Regina, Saskatchewan, and I worked for the phone company at the time.
Hmm.
And I'd always had an interest in real estate, and I contemplated different times getting my real estate license. I was I had moved back to Regina from Saskatoon, and I had decided I wanted to get a house with a revenue suite in the basement, and I had a hard time finding anything that I liked in a neighborhood that I liked.
Sure.
And so I ended up buying a house, and I rented out rooms in the basement anyway for one thing or another. But then I decided to take a severance package from the phone
Hmm.
company, and my friend Carol McConaughey and I worked together at the phone company, and I found out she was also taking a severance package. We started
Hmm.
talking about, what's life going to look like after SaskTel, and we both indicated we had found out we had this mutual interest in real estate. So we thought, well, let's check into this a little bit further. And so we went out to see what was available, for education and training, because we realized if we went out and got a little bit of education, we could get ourselves up and running much faster than if we just kind of floundered around on our own out there. And we started reading some books and listening to tapes and just doing a bunch of different stuff. And then we found a course that we could take some education on. We hired a
Hmm.
coach and a mentor that could help us, and off we went. We just, never looked back from there, kind of thing.
Okay, and what kind? Oh, so you have kind of hired the coach and mentor, right?
Yes. Yep.
Do you see the value of having such kind of people involved in your real estate investing journey, or?
Oh my gosh, it was critical to our success, really.
Okay.
And that he subsequently retired now,
Hmm.
but we have kept in touch with him, all along. We've known him now almost 20 years, probably, and we don't talk to him that often anymore. But he was one of the people that we called regularly just to run things by him and talk to him. And he had come out to our home location in Regina and spent, 3 or 4 days with us and
Hmm.
helped us, put together a bunch of deals. So it was really important to have somebody who'd been through the trenches and done it before that could give you some coaching and guidance.
Definitely. Can you tell the name? Are you okay with that?
Yes, his name was John Lapointe. He
Perfect.
actually lives in Florida. He's a Canadian citizen,
Yeah.
but both him and his wife, he had moved to Florida to retire a few years back. And even though he was living in Florida when we met him, he had been in real estate for 30 years, probably at that particular point in time, in both Canada and the United States. So he
Perfect.
he knew a lot about both sides of the border, and we always wanted to invest in the U.S. Right from the very
Hmm.
beginning. We knew that we wanted to do Canada, but we also wanted to have U.S. properties. So that's why we went with him because he had done both.
Perfect. So, are you okay to share your first deals in the hood? How you structured them? What have you done? And was it working or not? That was one of the first deals we ever made, right?
Yeah. So the first deal we went and we started looking at properties, and we met this
Hmm.
realtor who worked in a one of the smaller brokerages, and he started sending us like houses. And not only we were thinking, okay, we'll buy like one or two, and then he came to us with a package of 10, and we went, well, I guess if we're going to buy one or two, maybe we should look at 10. So it kind of
Why
changed our
not?
mindset right from day one, right? Why just buy one? So we did find one through one of our other realtors that we ended up buying, and we could get in to with our own credit, and we had a line of credit, and that's what we used for down payment. And then after that, we started buying packages of houses from investors using vendor take back. And
Hmm.
we had one of our first deals that we did was a little single family bungalow in the what we affectionately call the hood in Regina.
Hmm.
And it was owned by a gentleman who was an accountant, and he owned a lot of revenue property in the area. And
Hmm.
we wanted to do a vendor take back, so we convinced him to do a 25% vendor take back. We started doing um, moving forward with that deal, and then we realized he had another property for sale on MLS, and so we approached him through our realtor to see if he would do a second one for us, and he agreed to do a second one. And then we found somebody else who would do another property for us with vendor take back. And then we found, like I said, packages anywhere. The packages went from anywhere from 2 to 20 houses kind of thing at a time. We were buying like 10 houses a month for a while there.
Hmm.
And at the same time, we started buying property in Gatineau, Quebec, because we had some connections through Jean Lapointe back in
Hmm.
the Gatineau area. And we started doing newer construction there, multi-unit apartments, etc. And all of those were with vendor take-back financing and creative deals to get us into the deals. So Carol and I didn't have any money. We each put like 2,000 bucks in to the company for startup costs, and we had good credit, and we went out and got as much credit as we could and used it strategically to help us use for down payments and get in and buy properties, refinance, a whole bunch of different stuff. But it was those first guys that, first sellers that trusted us to do the vendor take back, that really got us kick-started and got us going. And we just kept asking for it and see what we could get. Also, that particular first guy that the accountant that lent us the money or give us the vendor take back, within about 6 months, we went in and did some renovations on the houses, refinanced both of them, and paid off his second mortgage within 6 months. And he
Wow.
was shocked that we did that. And he said, "Oh, I'll lend to those Die Ray girls any day." Where our company was Die Ray Development. So it was we had a fairly good reputation. Then people in the community. It's a small investing community once you get out into the market, and people knew that we paid our bills and did what we said we were going to do, kind of thing. So it was just a good way to get started.
So are those investments were the best one, or you have something in your sleeve which you can share with attendees? So what is the best investment you ever made so far?
Um, Geez, best investment I ever made so far. Probably we bought some properties, and I hate to say like there's one that would be the best one, but I did get
Hmm.
into a duplex that we were able to get in very creatively with vendor take back,
Hmm.
and we used RSP mortgage um, with that same seller on another property, and we were able to refinance and pay those off fairly quickly on the second mortgages and the RSP mortgages. even
Hmm.
though I very much promote getting in with 100% financing, I think as investors, you need to be prudent and manage that risk. And you need to also increase your cash flow. I would highly recommend that if you get in with second mortgages, that you work on other strategies to bring in cash so that you can pay off those second mortgages, or force up the value so you can refinance and get those people paid back. So you don't have those extra payments and extra interest on there, and
Hmm.
you start having better cash flow for yourself. So we were able to refinance those within about a year after forcing up the value, increasing the rent, paid off the second mortgages and the RSP mortgage.
Hmm.
And we got great appreciation on that property. We held it for a number of years. It appreciated really, really well. We made a lot of money. We had another, couple properties like that. One of them was a rental property we were doing a rent to own on. The
Hmm.
gentleman just couldn't get the money together to do the rent to own after an extension. I think he was in there for about 4 or 5 years. But during that time, that property went from, I think we paid 40,000 for it, and it went up to 210 when we sold it. So we were able to take advantage of some pretty good appreciation during the time that we held a lot of our properties, and we're able to take advantage of that, and then we just take that money and reinvest it into something else, kind of thing. So um,
Hmm.
they're all, the deals are similar to some extent. There's little stories behind some of them, because some of them we just laugh over now, or the stuff that we did. And I've probably looked at a couple of thousand properties in North America, because I've been investing in the United States since 2003 as well.
Hmm.
And I've looked at properties all over North America, and uh, it's just we put in deals and offers all over the place, and you just try things, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You just move on. And certainly now, when I look back at what I knew then versus what I know now, I approach things a lot differently now, because I have a lot more experience. I've tried different things, right? So
Oh, definitely.
and
So that will come up another question. So, what is your favorite investing strategy, and can you elaborate why?
my favorite real estate investing strategy. Well, on single family homes, I really like rent to own. I feel you
Hmm.
get a better client, um, because they're a little more engaged in the process. The intent is that we get them to see themselves as the owners, and have them, take over the property at some point in time. It's I don't have to deal with the tenants and toilets and repairs the same way I would on a single family.
That's right.
Certainly getting into commercial is something that is attractive too, especially if you're in other parts of the country like Ontario, Quebec, where the landlord tenancy act is a lot stricter. When you get into the commercial side, you don't have to deal with the landlord tenancy act the same way. You have a contract, and it's based on what's going on with the contract. So I think that is attractive. But it's finding the right property on a commercial side that is sustainable in a downturn in the economy, because everything goes in cycles, and every 7 years or so we go through a downturn in the economy, and
Mhm.
as a result it impacts real estate. So you need to get something that can ride through that. um, so right now retail is having a hard time because so many people are shopping online. I wouldn't be going out and buying a mall right now, but I would buy perhaps a small commercial building where there's accountants, or medical personnel, doctors, dentists, etc. Because no matter what happens in the economy, you still need to go to the optometrist, you still need to go to the dentist, things like that. So it's just a matter of getting the right property. So I prefer now to look for bigger properties and to
Mhm.
get into some land development is kind of where I've moved myself forward with.
That's very interesting, right? Amazon and virtual stores taking over, right? So
Hmm.
interesting. Thank you
Yeah,
for
we're still
that
going to
hint.
have a we're still going to have a need for commercial retail space.
Mhm.
It's just how that looks is changing dramatically over
Yeah.
the over time, right?
Uh, just simple example, not related to the real estate, right? I have noticed that people are going to stores to find out how that looks like Best Buy, how the TV look like, and they're buying somewhere else cheaper, right? So, and
Right,
that's what is
online or
happening,
something.
right? So, yeah,
Yep.
definitely something to consider. So,
Yes.
what kind of deals you have in your sleeve at this moment? Are you working on any at this? Of course, you're working, right?
I am. I have, I've got several rent-own clients that I'm working with.
Hmm.
Um, I also have a couple of commercial land development kind of projects that I've got on the go, and I
Hmm.
also do funding. So I've been spending a lot of time helping people find non-traditional ways of funding their projects. So that's kind of where a lot of my effort has been the last couple of months. So
Hmm.
I always have stuff on the go, you know. I wholesale as one of my key strategies, and I wholesale all kinds of stuff. So it's you know, you never know, just whatever comes in the door. You know, as you get to more advanced in your business, um, you get most of my marketing comes through word of mouth. It's people I know, connections I've
Definitely.
made. People phone me because they know I can get something or other. So it's not like when I first started out. I had a different I had a different needs. I had to be out marketing on the newspaper or something like a Kijiji or Craigslist to drive business in. Business comes to me now just through the people that are in my network. And I have a huge network all over North America and outside of North America as well, Europe, etc.
So, yeah, word of mouth is one of the most powerful marketing strategies. And that takes time and effort and good recognition and definitely good tracking record with anybody, because people, if you make everybody happy, then automatically they will be referring your business. And you are very, very known persona in Canada and United States because of that, right? So
Right.
however, to the people which are marketing and starting real estate investing, that may be very challenging, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we will be covering the topics about the differences, whatever marketing was looking like 5, 10 years ago versus what is today, right? We have to provide a lot of educational resources, a lot of value, right, in
Right.
return to just have a potential conversation. And there is a lot of automation, right?
Well, and
I'm
that's,
excited about that. So
well, exactly. And I know that's certainly something that you've spent a lot of time on as well. Um, it's a different world from when
different.
I started, but yet at the same time, um, the reach that you can get as a real estate investor with the current technology that's available is so much greater than what
Hmm.
I could possibly accomplish when I first started. When I first started in this business, Kijiji didn't even exist, Craigslist didn't exist. And so now I can do so much marketing for free online through those kind of sources.
Hmm.
Um, you, I know a lot of people still do the old-fashioned stuff, like newspapers or whatever, and they still get a return. They still get business coming in. It's all about lead generation and having as many different ways to get people into your sales funnel as possible.
Hmm.
But certainly, Facebook, pay per click, all that type of stuff online has now changed our world dramatically. And your reach now is not just your local community, it's all over the world. And it's all about building that tribe or that community that starts
Hmm.
following you. And who knows where your next lead may come from. And so it's exciting new business. I'm looking at people coming into this and going, wow, they just have so many more potential opportunities than I had in my little market in Regina, Saskatchewan. But
Yeah.
you do want to target where you're going as well and see what happens.
Yeah, there is a lot of technical aspects of marketing at this moment versus, a few years ago, to be honest with you.
Yes,
I agree with
yes, for
100%.
sure, for sure.
Automation and having higher exposure, even doing such kind of conversations like this is one part of the marketing too, right? So
Yes, yes, absolutely,
we
absolutely.
are talking about that. So how do you see, what would you like to see in your business, in your personal development in upcoming future?
Well, I definitely am moving into larger deals. And so if
Hmm.
anyone has some larger deals where, especially where the sellers are open to being creative, I would really like to hear about them, not just in Canada, the United States, or as I would look at the United States as well. So, I do, they do have to have good fundamentals, but, I'll take a look
Hmm.
at it. I like working with people that are just starting out. If you're a wholesaler just starting out and you don't know who to bring your deals to or whatever, you can send them my way. I'll try to help you. See if it's something that works for me or for one of my coaching clients that I work with, because I do provide coaching and mentoring to people starting out in this business as well. And if I
Hmm.
can send them a few deals bonus, we can go that way.
Hmm.
Depending on what it is they've got, kind of thing. Go from there.
Okay, and definitely some kind of retirement turnkey solution, sitting on the beach.
Yes, absolutely. That is the plan, especially after we had, when it starts snowing in the wintertime, I'd like to have someplace a little warmer to go to.
Yeah, that's the proper mindset, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
so we understand that there is never easy to build the real estate investing business per se, even any kind of businesses, right?
Right.
It's taking a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of sacrifices, a lot of mistakes, losing money, making money, and I hope you will help all the attendees and who's listening this presentation. What kind of challenges you have been facing or you have faced, which you would like to avoid, and how you overcame them?
Well, okay, so all the stuff you listed, I've, had challenges with at some point in time. Um, Probably one of the biggest challenges you have as a real estate investor is access to credit and money, right? Because
Hmm.
when you first start out, you only have so much money, you only have so much credit, you can only do so many deals, and then it's like, okay, how do I find a creative way to do the next group of deals? And that's where you bring in the creative ways using seller financing, etc. And even after all these years of doing business, I still have some challenges getting financing because I can only get so many single family home loans. That's why going up market at some point in time is important, or switching over to more of a commercial lending criteria, because they look at you differently on those deals.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm going more up market on my opportunities that I'm looking at this point in time. That's what I really want to focus on for the future. And I have some other personal stuff that I want to do as well,
Hmm.
because I see real estate as an enabler. It allows you to get a good income, and then which enables you to go off and do things that you're passionate about. Spending time with friends and family, if you're into music, you love to travel, you want to spend more time with your kids, whatever it happens to be. Once you know that you have that income coming in,
Hmm.
and you can kind of breathe a sigh of relief and focus on what's more important to you, then I think that's the way it should be.
Definitely. So there is a proven information that every multimillionaire has a more than six stream of income, right? So real estate investing can be very, very beneficial. But as you mentioned, also you get into the finances, and hopefully at one point we will have a pleasure talking about that with our members. Are you okay with
Hmm.
that?
Yes, I will keep in touch because I want to develop a program that
Hmm.
I can bring to the members, but I'm a ways away from doing that. So that'll be sometime probably late next year, maybe. So you
Okay.
and I will keep in touch regarding it, though.
So aside of the technicalities, are people willing to do VTB in today's market in Calgary? That's one of the questions popped up by Michael.
So VTBs in Calgary at this particular point, you'd have to find the right deal, Michael, that makes sense to do it. And one of the challenges you've got with single family homes, especially, the lenders want to see your 20% down cash. So if you're going to go get a vendor take back, you're still going to need to have some cash in the deal. Even on the commercial side, you need to have some cash. But the commercial side, you can do things a little bit easier. So 5 units and up. There are people that are motivated to sell, and you could probably do a vendor take back or maybe an agreement for sale that
Mhm.
could help you get into the deal creatively. It has to cash flow and has to make sense and be something that works for both parties. Sorry. Um, so it depends on the deal. I mean, you never know what you might find here. We have had lots of B2B deals that have gone down in Calgary over the years. So you never know unless you ask.
And you have to keep asking. Simple as that. Ask many questions as possible, right?
Yep.
Okay, so Shelley, straightforward question: what makes you different? Why you are so unique comparing to other investors and business owners?
Well, I think I'm very unique from a lot of other investors that I know because I have done such a diversity in the type of deals that I've done. And
Hmm.
when you get into this long term, when I'm working with my mentoring students, I always say, pick a ditch, pick some strategy you want to start with and focus on that and get to learn it really well. But as you evolve in a city like Calgary, you need to have probably multiple strategies in real estate. Like you said, there's 6 sources of income. Well, you can have 6 different sources of income in real estate depending on how you set it up. And so you need to be, that is, I think one of the benefits of what I bring to the table is I've invested in Canada, United States. I've done real estate, pretty much every strategy that's out there except for tax liens is the only thing I haven't done. Not that I haven't bought tax sale properties, but as far as the United States goes, and I've done funding. I have, I do a lot of different kinds of deals on commodities and things like that. So just as the business has evolved and my career has evolved, I've evolved with it and tried different things. So when people come to me, even my mentoring clients, we always start out with real estate, but quite often they have other businesses that they're working on too, either MLMs or some other business they're wanting to do, and
Hmm.
it evolves into something very unique and different for each individual person that I'm working with. And because I have that scope of business for both real estate, some of the stuff I brought from when I worked in SaskTel, and just the other things that I've learned over the last few years in my business dealings, I can bring a wide diversity of skills to the table to help somebody move forward.
And like, to be honest with you, we've been knowing each other for a long period of the time, and besides that, you are only 25 years old. You have
Exactly.
experienced a lot of good transactions, and you are a very likable person. That's my personal opinion, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes. There's lots of
so
different stuff out there.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I have to sweet talk a
Yes.
little bit, right? But it's humble and honest, right?
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
so very important question to anyone who is listening. What would you like to say who is thinking or actively investing in real estate investing? What kind of suggestion you should give it? You would like to give it to them?
First and foremost is perseverance. Do not give up. There's going to be days in anything in life. It doesn't matter if it's real estate investing or anything. There's always
Hmm.
days when you think, what in the world am I doing this?
Hmm.
And you just need to trust in yourself. Trust that you have what it takes to get this done. Doesn't matter who you are. Everybody has skills and abilities they can bring to the table. With the stuff that you bring to the table, you're compared to what I bring to the table is different. But doesn't mean that
Hmm.
we can't both be successful in this business. But it is, you have to persevere. You're going to spend some time, you know, on the street kind of figuring it out initially, and then it will start to eventually come together. So keep at it. Don't give up. Network, network, network. Build in people into your network that you trust and that you can work with
Hmm.
as well, that you can, you know, consult with. I recommend having a mastermind group that you can go to on a regular basis that helps you keep things fresh, keeps you in the game. Someone you can ask questions to if you're stuck and you're not quite sure where to go next, or just a group of people that you become friends with that you share stuff about your life with too. It's you got to remember how to do that. So, and also constantly be marketing yourself and looking for joint venture partners and money to bring into this business. Eventually over time you're going to have more money of your own and you won't need as much from other people, but initially to get yourself going you're going to need that. Just so don't give up. Network, network, network like crazy. Market yourself all the time and look for joint venture partners and money to help you build your business. Those are kind of like the four things that I think.
Wow. And never getting old.
Never getting old.
No, what I mean is those suggestions, they're never getting old, right? I
Oh,
heard
yes.
that those suggestions from you 12 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. And,
Yes.
persistence, stubbornness, how you call it?
Absolutely.
Tinidius? How you pronounce in English? Sorry for my Polish English.
I don't
Ti-
know. What
Tididia?
is it?
No, tenacious? No, how you
Oh,
call it?
be tenacious.
Yeah,
Be
here.
tenacious. Absolutely. And, it really, there's a core fundamental thing, and that is really believing in yourself. It's a mindset change you need to make.
Mhm,
It's a different way. If you've worked for an employer, I should say, as an employee for years, now you're running your own business. It takes a little bit of, you know, change of yourself to understand what that actually means and how you can move forward with it. So you
mhm.
do need to be conscious of that and help yourself move on, kind of thing from there.
Okay. And hopefully you permit me to add another suggestion, which is very simple. Keep asking if you do not know.
Absolutely.
Sorry?
Absolutely.
Keep asking.
Absolutely. Yep.
Keep asking. So, Shelley,
Perfect.
how people can reach out to you besides being on the real estate investing community, which is you are the second member.
Yeah. Well, you can reach out to me through Facebook. I will
Mhm,
let you know though that through Facebook, I don't, it's not my primary source of communication.
mhm,
And I'm not on it as much as I used to be because I am very busy. I use WhatsApp, I use Skype, I
mhm,
use, texting, phone calls, emails. I've got multiple email addresses. I don't always go to Facebook because I've got a lot other stuff going on and it's hard to keep on top of all of those.
mhm.
I use IMO and Signal too to some extent, but WhatsApp and Skype I'm on a daily basis. So, if you can find me, you can. well, my name. You see my name. How to get a hold of me? Just reach out and we'll and touch base and we'll see what we can do to help each other.
Okay, so thank you very much, Shelley. I will conclude the conversation. If you have any final thoughts, any suggestions, please share with us. And I will be very excited to have you on other presentations and having coffee anytime when you like with glass of wine. And my lovely lady will be very happy to seeing you.
Yes, I would love it too. We definitely need to do that. We can't let it go as long as we had before when we got together. We need to get together more often.
Definitely, guys. So thank you very much for listening to us and participating. And we are not going anywhere, right, Shelley?
Right. Yes,
Thank you very much.
exactly. Well, thank you very much, Yerrick, for inviting me to come on. I am always very, very grateful and thankful that I have you as a friend in my life. And thank you very much for coming to invite me to come on today. And thank you for everybody that's listening to the podcast as well. Appreciate your time and wish you all the very best. So happy investing.